Welcome to Let's Talk About It. A podcast gets a platform for real talk, real people, real topics, real conversations. Enjoy the show and enjoy this journey. Welcome everybody to Let's Talk About It, a podcast for real talk, real people, real topics, real conversations. Today, my guest here today is to talk about life as an amputee. I saw her on TikTok working out, which by the way, I got asked her how she got the little 4 square things that she put in the videos, which I love that. Well, she's gonna talk about her journey, life as an amputee, growing up with it, dealing with it now, the stereotypes against it, because a lot of stereotypes against it, and we go dismiss all that. I'd like to introduce Laura Broman, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You got
See,
it.
I finally pronounced something right. Oh my goodness. All right, Laura, before we gotta remind me later on. I gotta know how you did the 4 squares on your workout on TikTok, because I'm gonna steal that. you know, and I don't know what app you got or whatever. But let's get down to it. Laura, tell us something about you first.
Yes, I've been a single mom to an amazing son of mine. He's 22 now. He's an adult, but it's been a blessing raising him through the years. He's my world, obviously, and
Okay.
so being a single mom all these years, I've always worked really hard in my career, and whenever I can have fit in fitness, that's always been a passion of mine. So I love working out and just learning about nutrition and health and things like that. And through the years, I've also been dating here off and on and have been on those dating sites, which has always been interesting.
Oh, wait a minute, I'll
So,
cut you off with that. Now that gave me a new question. I'm gonna ask you something about that later on in your opinion, but go ahead.
but yeah, currently working full time and getting in the gym as much as I can.
Okay, all right. I love that. I love that. See, you just gave me 2 new questions for later on. I can't wait for this one. I love to ask people like their opinions about the dating world today.
Hmm.
So many different answers. Oh my God, it's amazing. Anyway, let's get down to it. Life as an amputee, like this, like if you could tell us about your journey, like when you discuss what was it? Was you born as an amputee, or how did it come about with your journey?
Yes, I was in my second year of college. I was loving life. Things were well. It wasn't perfect being
Okay.
19 years old, but it was pretty great. I was on the cheer team in college, a co-ed squad. So I was into doing all the stunting and gymnastics and
Yeah.
had me a little part-time job at a local video store, was
Mhm.
doing an internship as a preschool teacher at the time. So I was pretty busy. Um, I was supposed to go out on a date. It got postponed to the following night. And so my sister, who's 3 years younger, her and I and some mutual friends, it was a fun, innocent night. We went to a movie and dinner, and on the way home, our car broke down. And so, being 33 years ago, we didn't have cell phones and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So we were on a street where there were a lot of cars cruising by. It was one of those main streets where I grew up out here, and we decided to stay with the car. We were pushing the car with one girl steering, and then a woman who wasn't paying attention came and hit us going 50 miles an hour. So my sister, thank God, and the other girls on the back of the car, they were able to get out of the way, but I turned around to see headlights. It was too late for me to get out of the way. So I lost my leg pretty much on the scene that night,
Oh
and
my God.
that's how I became an amputee. um, at first I was below the knee, but then a month later they had to take me above the knee. So that's how I became a left above knee amputee.
Wow. So you guys were pushing your car, and
Hmm.
this driver, what was they drunk or they lost control or?
So that is where it gets a little convoluted. She it was a female driver. She was 34 at the time. I was 19. She had a history, and I don't think she had a valid license that night, but she had a few prior DUIs and wasn't tested the night on the scene. We were tested, I guess, because of our age. They were thinking we were out partying at a club or something. I don't know. But
They test.
yeah,
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. They tested you when you lost your leg.
yeah, they tested some of us on the scene that night. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
Go.
won't
I'm sorry.
name
Go ahead.
which police department, but
I
the
got you. Yeah.
police department has had some issues, yeah, through the years. But so yeah, we don't know for sure if she was drunk, but she did have a history of DUIs and may have not even had a license that night. So um, yeah, that's what happened.
So, uh, you know, I'm trying to take this in. They didn't drug test her. I mean, like alcohol test her, but they did you. You didn't have a leg at that time, man, when it happened, and they would do that. So
Yeah.
anyway, what happened when they was taken to the hospital?
So I could tell on at the scene that something was really wrong because, of course, there was just chaos around us, and I
Yeah.
was trying to get up and I couldn't, and not to be too graphic, but this
No.
is what I recall.
Yeah.
I remember crawling and I could feel my leg dragging behind me, so I just knew this super bad. Whatever just happened is really bad, and just it was like my whole body was on fire, I guess, and until I finally went into shock. But so fast forward to the hospital. I was kind of in and out of consciousness. We waited for a doctor for I think 2.5 hours, and at that point I lost so much blood, and there was no way to save my leg anyway. But um, I didn't remember anything else until I woke up the next morning in the hospital, and there were some people in my room, and my mom and dad asked to have a minute alone with me, and that's when they told me. And I looked down at the sheets, and I noticed the uneven sheets on me. So yeah, just a flood of emotions. How am I going to walk, run, dance, gymnastics, cheer? Um, and of course, who's going to want an amputee, dating, things like that. So it was a flood of emotions. Yeah, for sure. A big shock.
Uh, All right. Let's go back a little bit. Um, when they took you to the hospital, and I assume right now that the first thing I'm kind of concerned about, you waited 2 hours and you're bleeding out.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you can talk about that too much, right? But what was going through your mind at that point when, if you can remember, if you feel good to share at that time when you're waiting?
Yeah, I was kind of going in and out of being conscious, and
Yeah.
I remember I am so fortunate to have such a close, tight knit family, and I remember my mom and dad were just beyond distraught, and me having a child of my own now and who's an adult, I now know the pain they've gone through the years. But um, I just remember kind of waking up and seeing them totally devastated and going back out. And I'll just say that this hospital has since been closed
Good.
since, yeah,
Good.
my surgeries, 33 years ago. Yeah, they had some issues for sure.
So when you woke up and you noticed the sheets were, one was full and one was flat.
Yeah.
And when did it really hit you? Like, when you looked it was missing, or like, or whatever it was, like, when was that moment when it hit you?
Yeah, when they explained what happened and I noticed the uneven sheets, that's for sure, like, when it clicked. Um, and then just the process, I will say that, um, having grown up in the city, Corona, California,
Gotcha.
um, we had a lot of support. So I think the main part of my healing and learning to love and accept myself again was
Awesome.
just family I had. the cheer team in college, they welcomed me to keep cheering with them for 2 years
Oh, that's
after.
awesome. That's awesome.
Um, the college where I was attending raised money for me. All the community around me in Corona and Riverside, Norcal, they were all raising money, lots of fundraisers, and the love I received, it was just amazing. And not to mention my close, family, friends, and cheer team members. And I think for 2 to 3 months straight, we had visitors at our house constantly. I had a constant flood of visitors in the hospital. Both times I had to have surgeries. And but I will say, when all of it calmed down at about month 3 was when I was really starting to deal with the depression of what had happened, when everything started to be quiet and I was back to normal life.
Oh.
Um, yeah, it definitely took an adjustment through the years for sure.
Now, you mentioned that you have more than one surgery on it.
Yes, because the doctor showed up, 2.5 hours later. They had to hurry and just do a surgery. So it was kind of bizarre, and I don't know that it was done correctly, or I would hope they don't do this type of surgery anymore.
Okay.
But they left my leg where it was open at the end, which was pretty bizarre to accept and look at for a while. And then so I had my knee, which I've learned is so important. Take care of your knees, everybody. And then they had to take me up above the knee a month later. So I had a second surgery. Um, my accident happened July 1991. So in August, I was in there for my second surgery.
Okay. So you went through two surgeries.
Hmm.
I'm assuming right now you staying at your parents,
Yes.
and the support system with them. You say it was great. They supported you, your family, your cheer club, this and that. Uh,
Hmm.
how was your like? What point did you when somebody came to you and said, okay, well, all right, her leg is gone now. You had to get, I guess, what you call what, a prosthetic leg? That's what they call it,
Yes.
right? So let's get to that point, right? So when did you start doing that? Is it like a certain healing you got to go through before you try it on? Like, what's the steps to that?
Yeah, it definitely took time for my leg to heal. So in the beginning, you wear, I think it's called a shrinker, and you have to wear this really tight, form-fitting um, material that helps to shrink all the swelling down and get your leg down to the point where you can be weight bearing and try a prosthetic.
Okay.
So it took a lot of healing. Um, And then, so when I did return to cheer, and I was determined to get out there for the first home game at the college for football.
Yeah.
I was out there at the first game in September, but I was hopping around and using
Gotcha.
crutches, and I was still able to stunt and things without the prosthetic. And when I
Awesome.
finally got my first prosthetic, um, I'll say that the technology has been amazing and has come such a long way, because my first prosthetic was meant just for walking, and it was pretty simple. The components, like the knee and the foot, were very simple.
Okay.
And so he told me, do not cheerlead on this leg because it's not going to last. And I did try, and I broke it.
You broke it? Oh, so you didn't listen to doctor's orders. There you go. Oh, that's not good.
So he had to fix it, but I told him I fell down the stairs. But
Oh, Lord, come on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so yeah, and so back when I was 19, 20, the early years when this happened,
Yeah.
they didn't have the running legs with the blades, and they didn't have any of the options now. You see people out there being really active and doing everything they love with the new prosthetics that are out. So it's been fun through the years. I did eventually get a running prosthetic and things like that. So it's been good.
So you went through that one, like, so throughout the years, like, how many have you been through?
Quite a few, and it's always an issue with the insurance companies.
That's what I was going to
It-
ask you about that. I was going to ask you about that
yeah,
as well, but go ahead.
Yeah, they're very costly, and so you have to prove to the insurance companies what your level of activity is, what that is,
Mm.
and why you feel you need this very active lifestyle type of prosthetic.
Right?
So through the years, um, I remember in the early years, it's pretty frustrating. And being so young, when it happened, I was trying for some of the more expensive knees out there that would allow me to be more active, and I got denied quite a bit. So, um, as the new knees come out, then the insurance will help pay for some of the older models. So I have a good setup now.
So
Um,
that's kind of back. What the hell? Like seriously?
yeah,
It was like that. I'm assuming it's way better now than it was back then, right?
it really is. Yeah. So I'm able to, with my insurance, even being now in my 50s, I'm able to get a microprocessor knee that I couldn't get when I was in my 20s.
All right. So so you went back to cheerleading. You broke it by because you didn't go follow doctor's orders
I didn't.
because you told me you fell. Okay. So all right. So I'm assuming right you finished school, right? Okay.
I finished at Riverside Community College, and then I went and got my bachelor's, and then I went and got my master's.
If I could ask, for what do you have your bachelor's and master's in?
My bachelor's is in psychology and human development, and my master's was in counseling psychology.
Wow, but damn. Oh, man, man, we got to bring you on for another show. I'll tell you right now. All right. So, how was you getting along? Like, how was you adapting to each prosthetic leg you was going through at this time throughout college? How was you adapting to that?
Yeah, so I've been through quite a few because as your body changes and grows, the socket, and that's the top part that fits onto your real leg,
Mhm.
doesn't fit. So if I go down in weight or up in weight, it's pretty hard to walk in this prosthetic leg. So, for example, I've had a lot through the years. Like when I had my son and was pregnant, I had to get a different leg during the pregnancy. And then when I lost the weight, I had to get another leg afterward because you
Wow.
can't go up and down like within 10 pounds. It's going to start altering the fit of your prosthetic.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I've been through quite a few through the years as life stages were happening, and I'm currently on a weight loss journey. So when I'm done and reach my goal, I'll have to get another one because this
You
one
gotta
won't
get
fit
another one.
anymore.
You gotta
But
get another one. Oh, wow.
yeah, so the insurance, I do have better luck with the insurance now, especially if you're showing evidence of a weight change,
Mhm.
up or down. Um, they are, more apt to approve a leg for you and things like that. But so I have my walking legs and then the leg that I work out in, and I got one through the years that could go into the water so I could hold my son walking into the lake. And um, I did have a running leg. I don't use it anymore because I'm 50 something and it hurts. And so
I'm 52. I don't run nowhere. All right. And
I'm
I only
52.
like doing cardio. So you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you
my
know,
my I'm 52 also. My running leg is sitting in my closet. I still love it, but I just haven't tried it for a while.
yeah, you just be looking at, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's it, right? All right. All right. So you've been through different prosthetics throughout the years and you're adapting to each one. You say it goes up by weight, stuff like that, up and down in weight.
Mhm.
And is it like new styles for like flexibility and stuff like that? You gotta go through too. Like does a doctor get in contact you about a new style come up? Do you have a salesman or let's try this brand or something like that?
Yeah, I've been fortunate. I will say that also the person making your legs, the prosthetist,
Yeah.
is a hundred
Prosthetist?
percent prosthetist, a
Prosthetist. Okay.
hundred
All right.
percent make or break the prosthetic leg. So I was fortunate to come across a prosthetist named Phil Conley, and he has since retired. And now I'm with Mike Ward, and they're both just awesome people, just so skilled and an expert in their craft. So when you have a good prosthetist, he knows all the up and coming, like the knee. For me, it's always the knee and the ankle or the foot. That's most important. So I have a microprocessor knee, and I have to charge the battery every night, and it's pretty high tech. And then I have an adjustable foot, so I can wear different heel heights. Um, so yeah, I go to Mike Ward, who is amazing,
I see
and
that.
he tells me like some of the new stuff out there, and he knows what my insurance will approve and not approve.
Now you say you have a background, a bachelor's and master's in psychology, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's like mental and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question. I'm kind of curious. So you're talking to people, you're coaching them through all their mental anxieties or whatever they do. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, are you going through any of that?
Um, Through the years, yes. And so I will say when I was in my 20s, life was still pretty busy, and maybe I was avoiding therapy for
Yeah.
the longest time. And then I got married, and in my early 30s, it just kind of hit me, and I decided I need to go and do therapy. And then
Okay.
also for my degree, they require you to do 40 hours of therapy for your master's degree too. So yeah, I found myself in therapy dealing with something that happened when I was 19, when I was in my 30s, because I kind of put it off, put it off, put it off. And so now talking to people, I understand, and having been through something sudden and traumatic, I understand and really encourage others to seek out mental health help. Um, and I always talk about the benefits of, dealing with your trauma and processing it, and giving you the ability to work through it and move on, and so you're not carrying that burden on your shoulders and in your heart. Um, Having been through it myself, yeah, I kind of learned that lesson.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody else who's also an amputee as well? That maybe having a tough time with it. Have you talked to anybody, people like that?
Yes, I often family members or friends will reach out if there's a new amputee that they've run into in their life, whether it's a family member or friend, and I do mentor them. I just had a 26-year-old I was talking with about a year ago. He had a motorcycle accident, and so um, I do have a lot of tips and knowledge about how to navigate through it, and with the insurance companies, and just your day to day living. Um, it sounds funny, but I told this young man, put a shoehorn in every room in your house, in your car, because it sounds so silly, but a shoehorn to us, like that is the golden ticket. It helps me to switch shoes in the middle of the day from work to gym.
Mm,
Otherwise, you're struggling for maybe 10, 15 minutes trying to switch your shoe out. So it's, yeah, things I've learned through the years. I do mentor other amputees, and that's been really beneficial. I love helping others.
you're awesome. Yeah, I'm I'm
Thank,
I'm I'm enjoying this journey with you. Seriously, I really am.
thank you.
Uh, do do people stare?
They do.
Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Because I was kind of wondering, because I was trying to do like some research before we got on, and some people say, like, that they don't like to be stared at or whatever. Like, oh, it's different, whatever, but it's not. It's not. But so, like, does that make you feel uncomfortable, or you're just like, I ain't fucking worried about this. I'm just doing me. Tell me about
Yeah, it took me a while to get to the point where I didn't care about the stares or the remarks. It took me a long time, and I'm not even quite sure when, maybe my 40s.
Okay.
You kind of just build this tough skin, and you don't really care what others think. But in the beginning, it did bother me a lot, especially being so young.
Mhm.
And I remember the first time I went to the beach, it might have been the summer after my accident, so a year later. I
Mhm.
was with my close girlfriend. We were at the beach, and I walked onto the sand with my prosthetic, and I took it off to lay out because
Mhm.
it's much more comfortable that way.
Yeah.
And we had a whole family turn around and whispering and talking, and they moved the spot. And so I remember not letting my friend really know how much it was bothering me. And we had fun on the way home. Like, I had a car with two tops, and we were driving, and I had my legs standing up backwards, and we were being silly on the way home.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
But
I
when I
do.
got home, no lie, I bawled and bawled to my parents. And, it was the first time where I felt people were kind of mean about it that day. I always had the whispers and the stares, and that was, um, oh,
Mhm.
it was something I could get past. But yeah, through the years, you're going to get that, being different and looking different or walking different. They're trying to figure out what's going on with her, and but now, they can say and do whatever. I don't care.
I'll tell you the truth, right? The people who talk all the most shit, I always tell them, look in the mirror at yourself because because they're the most ugliest people in the world. Seriously, in and out, bunch of assholes. I'm sorry. All
Yeah.
right, so let's get to the point. I'm kind of curious about this. So now let's get into if you feel comfortable about this dating aspect. But younger, did guys look at you differently, or they treat you the same, or well, how was that like for you?
Yes.
If you feel comfortable talking about it, it's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I would say that I still dated consistently through the years.
Good.
And I was married at one time. We had a 14-year relationship. He's a
Awesome.
wonderful man. We're great co-parenting and friends, and he's a wonderful father to my son. But yeah, that relationship was 14 years, and I've had other long ones. 8 years was the longest after that, and
Okay.
and then just dating since then. But I have through the years run in. Well, first I'll say on the dating apps
Oh boy, here you go.
when I was younger.
When you was younger. Okay.
So maybe like 2008, 2009, when I first got on them off and on through the years.
Mhm.
I didn't put that I was an amputee right out there on my
Okay.
profile, but I always had the conversation with them after texting, talking. Um, Before I met them, I would always let them know.
Okay.
And I didn't ever have anyone, well, there was a few that
Okay.
changed their mind and didn't want to meet, which
Okay.
is fine, to
That's
each
fine.
their own.
Yeah.
But I would say that I've still been able to date consistently. I haven't found the one to have a good, healthy relationship with right now, but
We'll talk about that later on, but go ahead.
now on my profiles, I just put it out there, and I'll put photos of me in my prosthetic. And I've been that way now for years. Like, I just put it out there because
Awesome.
if it's not for you, then it's not for you.
It's
That's
not for
fine.
you. Just tell them whatever. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Um, are there some things, right, when people talk to you, like they'll say the dumbest shit that bothers you? Is there certain things they'll ask you? There's certain things out there you can give example of. You can say it. Please don't tell me something I said.
What'd you say?
But please don't tell me something I just said. And so it's just
Um, so in the crazy, chaotic online dating, for
Mhm.
some reason, the guys at one point ask if sex is different. And I'm like,
Stop. Stop. No. Stop.
no, it's the
No.
same.
No. you, you did not just say that, right?
I did. And it always makes me laugh and kind of takes me back a bit. But I'm like, no, it's pretty much the same.
It's, oh, wait. So somebody really asked you that shit? Seriously?
A couple times, not just once.
Oh my goodness. These dudes, boy, I'm telling you, man.
I
Oh
know.
my goodness. Oh boy, the stories I hear, it just gets better and better. I'm gonna do a podcast of just all the dumb shit men say to women on dating apps. I gotta do that one.
I'm there for it. I'll tune in.
Is there anything else that people would say, like in general, like like dumb shit or that annoys you or whatever?
A stereotype kind of linked to that question is that I do use the handicap placard, especially as I got older. Um, and so I think when I was younger, 20s, 30s, I'd have people, I'd pull up into the handicap spot and people would come up to my window and start yelling at me. Why are you parked here? You shouldn't steal that placard. What are you doing? And then I'd get out with my prosthetic visible and I'd say, look, I have one too. And it's kind of crazy because you can get a placard for having asthma. It's like,
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah, this is what
Wow.
I've heard. I don't know anyone who's done that, but
Well,
and the reason why I would park there is because sometimes I was tired. Like an amputee uses 80% more energy than someone who's not wearing a prosthetic. So, it's come in handy being able to park close, especially after a long day of work or whatever. So, yeah, I would get that a lot when I was in 20s, 30s of that age. Yeah.
oh my god. Oh my goodness. All right. So how about now? People really don't say dumb stuff to you now, like that. That was probably back in the day. You probably just don't even acknowledge any of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely become tougher. I've developed a different attitude and I really don't care what other people think attitude and that
I'm
helps
there with you.
52.
I'm
52.
listen. I stopped caring at 50. I really did because no matter what I do, what I say, you're gonna judge me, whatever. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter to me. I got three rules I follow, but I'll tell you off air because it's. I'll tell you off air. Hey, you know what? While I was doing research for this, um, it came up with something I never heard of before. Do you ever experience phantom pain?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Can you break that down? Because I was trying to understand.
Yes. So uh it doesn't happen so much anymore, just once in a while now. Um but in the beginning, the mind doesn't quite grasp that the missing part of your leg is gone. And so from my knee down on my left side where I lost my leg, there would be pain down there where the leg was missing, and not just a little bit of pain, but intense pain.
Really?
And there's nothing you can do because your leg's missing, but the mind doesn't quite grasp that part of the leg is gone. And so there were the pain was pretty intense through the first, I would say, 5, 6 years at times. And all you can do is get up and kind of try to walk around, or they would teach you to massage your leg or tap your leg. Different little techniques, the prosthetists have learned through the years, but I don't have that. Yeah, just once in a while I'll have something kind of weird like that, but
That's crazy because I never heard it before. And I was researching it. It was like, really? All right, I got to answer that question. That she goes through that.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it can be intense and frustrating just because there's really not much you could do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about how'd you start. So when did you start your gym journey?
Um, I I've always loved the gym since I was 16, 17.
Okay.
Um, and I did track when I was younger, and then the cheer thing forever in high school, college, and
Got it.
I just always had such a passion for the gym. I love being in there, and so after my accident, it did take me a while to get back in there,
Hmm.
um, but I did, and so it's still a passion of mine, and it's a little bit harder now working a very demanding job, full-time job right now that I have, but I still try to get in there at least 3 days a week. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you first started, it was it a little bit different when you started wearing the prosthetic on the gym than when you ever when before.
Yes, absolutely. And even now, I have to compensate on some of the exercises, like doing squats. I have to shift my weight all the way to my right side
Okay.
with the Smith rack, or even just with a barbell on my own. But you kind of have to navigate that with the different exercises, how to not fall down, which has happened quite a bit.
It happens to me too. I mean, I think I'm doing something right. Next time I'm going timber, like oh shit. You slip or whatever. You think you're in a good rhythm, and all of a sudden, like boom, like you just tip over for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I've
It's
had lots
just
of falls.
oh my god, falling is not good. So, what are some of your things why you like to do at the gym?
I always gravitate to the free weights. I just
Everybody
love
does.
the free weights.
Yeah, everybody does.
Um, Cardio has never been my favorite. Like when I was doing track, it was short distance. I did not like getting long distance. But yeah, I always need to increase my cardio. That's where I'm lacking for sure. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
well,
just go straight to the free weights. I love that section. Yeah.
trust me, my cardio. I think the longest I ever go is God, 15 minutes. That's
Oh,
it.
you're good. Better than me.
You only go 15?
I might ride the stationary bike here at home with the TV on. I can do a little better, but
Oh, I got you. I got you on that one. Now, I gotta ask you, you know, the last part about that right there. Like, so when you went into the gym with your prosthetic, like, was you like, I know you was comfortable, it was all in your mind, but how was it like around everybody else around? Was you getting extra stares because you was in the gym or whatever? Did you like people over staring at that point in the gym? Because it's kind of different in the gym because everybody has their little anxieties about going to the gym already.
Mhm.
So now, okay, you got prosthetic legs. So now everybody, so you got, now, do you have a little anxiety when you was doing it? And now you probably don't, but did you go through that when you first went back in?
Yeah, it was just the uncertainty of how I was going to navigate through all the exercises and what the people would think. But let's see, in 2012, I believe I did like an online competition with Fila, and I was one of five picked with that little competition online.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay. I
I
like it.
got to fly to New York and do a model shoot, and they did choose one of my photos. Um, I don't know if it's on my social media sites. That was so long ago, but it was an amazing experience. A 4-day trip to New York and a model shoot, and it was a lot of fun. And they did choose one of my photos for a magazine, but in
Really?
2014, I was one of 10 women chosen for Under Armour, and we did a lot of promoting of their new products. And it was a campaign called What's Beautiful, and it was all women, and it was just women uplifting each other, which you don't see all the time, and just loving on each other. And it was the most amazing campaign I've been a part of. So having all that going on when I was younger, um, and I was pretty healthy at that point in my life. Um, yeah, I was in and out of the gym a lot, and most of the feedback from people around me was super positive. Um, I recall one woman coming up to me and saying, "I didn't want to come today, but I knew you'd be here." And I said, "I don't have any excuses." So she showed up. And I love if I can motivate anybody in that way through the years. It's been really good. Yeah.
That's awesome right there. Motivation. That is so key because that's what we need in this world. You know what? I'm gonna piggyback what you said earlier because I was talking to somebody one day about women uplifting women. Like, and you said right, there should be more of that, right? So how do you think
hmm
more women could uplift women today?
Definitely needed. I see it on some of the social media sites, women encouraging each other, but there's also a lot of breaking down and bashing that still goes on. And I don't know why a lot of women feel like it's such a competition between us. Um,
Men
the
too.
world's a
Sometimes
better
men too.
place. Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a testosterone level with men, so you know.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that campaign will always stay with me because there was no negativity towards each other. We had um well, 10 of us were doing a lot of the ambassador work, but just the whole group of women was pretty amazing. Yeah, it was a good experience.
That
We
has to
need
be
more
one
of that.
hell. That has to be one hell of experience. I love that.
Yeah,
That
we need
is
more
right
of
there,
that.
man. I mean, you up here, Miss Glamour Girl in the magazines now, and all like this. Hey, you got some of that picture coming. I'm gonna put it on this interview when you're talking about it. I'm gonna put it at there as you're talking about. I'm put that picture right there, so everybody can
Okay.
see. They got to see the glamour. They got to see the glamour. Let's get to you. You said that today's dating sucks. Tell me why you feel that way in your opinion only, because everybody has their own different opinions. God,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of them. But what is your opinion about the dating world today to you?
Yes. So I'm often on those sites. I'll go on for a few months. I will meet some great people and some that were not quite a match for different reasons. But I think, and I'll take a break for a couple months and then I'll try
Okay.
again. But I think just the dating apps, and I'm sure you've heard this so much, because people have so many options available, no one really wants to settle down. They want to just hang out, spend time together. And I'm not necessarily looking to get married again. I would just um like I'm independent. I'm okay financially on my own. I just want someone in my life to enjoy and experience things with. And um but nobody wants like a serious commitment is mostly what I'm finding. They just want to hang out, spend time, have their options open because there's so many on these sites, so many options. And
They
I
want
think
a
that's
situationship.
yes. And I think predominantly that's what I've been running into quite a bit. And again, like I put it out there, I'm not looking to get married again necessarily unless I found a really great connection with somebody, I might consider it. But
Mhm.
um yeah.
So what you're just searching for a partner right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
partner. Hmm.
And committed relationship would be great.
Gotcha.
But like I don't go in with high expectations on these sites.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody, websites, I've heard a lot of them are up, they're down. I guess, what's it, Bumble, Tinder? No, I don't know. I haven't been on in fucking centuries. But I
Yeah.
can tell you, right, when I first started years ago, this is many, many moons ago, when I first started the dating websites, I think I was like 39 or 40.
Uh-huh.
And the first one I went on, God, you probably ever heard of it. I forgot what it's called. It has a fish on it.
Plenty
Um,
of fish.
that's it. Oh my God. Laura, I'm telling you, that shit was crazy. A whole nother level. Then I
Uh-huh.
stopped. Then I got married. Then I got divorced. And I was like, okay, let me go back on again.
Did
So
you
I
say you
think,
got stalked?
huh?
Did you say someone stalked you?
No, no, no. I stopped it.
Oh, you
No,
stalked.
yeah, I stopped it. Oh well, yeah. Well, I got stalked too. So
Oh
that's
no.
yeah. That was something else. Um, so then I went back on after divorce, and that was crazy. I think it was like on Tinder and Bumble. And Bumble
Mm-hmm.
was new because I think the female has to interact with you first.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then some other stuff, eHarmony, and you got to pay all this money. I just stopped. I said, it's fucking bullshit. Everybody, it seems like everybody's typing the same shit, the same message, right? And right, I interviewed a couple earlier, and they had such a good story. It was about what fits each other. It's about the
Mm-hmm.
fit of that person. Not everybody you're going to meet, you're not going to fit with. Guess
Right.
what? When you go on these sites, you'll go up and down. I'm sorry, what? Left, right? Okay, the first thing you see is the look,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay,
Yep.
you figure, oh, dang, he look good. Okay. Oh, no. No. Yeah. You see, you swipe it right? You swipe it right because he look
Yes.
good, right? Until you talk to him. He's either an idiot, an asshole, or is all about himself.
Uh-huh.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think a lot of people that I've talked to, they get too caught up in the look first.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, and I get it, that's what attracts you, okay? But
Yeah.
sometimes, there's something more beyond that. Because I can tell you from a guy's side, there's a lot of hot women out there. You're going like this, and this, and then you talk to them, they're like, no,
Uh-huh.
waste of damn time. So everybody goes through it on both sides. But their relationship, they found chemistry through conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And they said what they discovered was they discovered intimacy, not just physical. Because a lot of people don't understand, people just think it's physical. You got to
Right.
have that mental, intimacy. That
Right.
is more important than physical. Don't get me wrong, everybody like the physical, right? But that mental, oh man, that's the biggest turn on in the world. If you can sit here and have a good conversation with each other back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
bam, that's your turn on. That
Yeah,
and you ain't gotta
absolutely.
go to the physical. And that's
Yep.
what works for them. And a lot of these people online, like, because you know how it is, everybody love to text. You know what I mean? They can text all day. You probably been to it, right? You probably been through it. Because I've heard so many women say that. That's all he does is text. They can't
Uh-huh.
have a conversation.
Yes.
But matter of fact, tell me one good story about online thing you went through recently, or when you did. Something's
Um,
comical. I like
something
comedy.
comical?
I like comedy.
Oh goodness. Hmm.
It's too many to think about, right?
Yeah, it's not coming to mind.
It's
Uh,
okay. It's all right. Trust me. Online did, but overall, it's very hard right now. So it's like up and down. Are you still on it now, or you just got off it?
um, so yeah, I'm kind of dating someone, not sure where it's headed, but yeah, going out here and there, dinner, movies,
Have a
uh,
conversation. Have a conversation.
conversation is so important.
Have a
Yeah,
conversation.
very important.
And no phones. No phones. If you guys can have a
Yeah,
conversation without checking each other's phones for like every 5 minutes, you're good to go.
yeah, I agree. Yep, you can
All
put the
right.
phone away for a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly. Lord, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna end it on my game, and then I'm gonna give you the last message. Now, act like I discussed with you earlier, we have a fun little game called the 15 pick and choose random questions. Are you ready to play with me today?
Yes.
You got 90 seconds. Are you ready? I know you're so excited. You look so pumped up right now.
I'm wondering what are these questions?
All right. Gotta be real quick. Are you ready to go?
Okay,
Hit the clock. Win the lottery or land your dream job?
lottery,
Talking or listening?
listening,
Read a book or watch a movie?
read a book,
Words or actions?
actions,
If you could only wear one color for the rest of your life, what color would that be?
Blue.
Ah. Rich, rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and unknown.
Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Start start work late or leave work early?
Start work late because I'm a night owl.
Free healthcare or free education?
Free education.
All right. Snowball fight or sandcastle building?
Sandcastle building.
Favorite exercise at the gym?
Dumbbells.
Okay. Least favorite exercise at the gym?
Treadmill.
Telling a joke or hearing one?
Hearing one.
Favorite food?
Spaghetti.
Me too. Celebrity crush?
Oh my gosh, celebrity
It gets
crush.
everybody. It's clicking.
Oh my gosh, I can't think of one right now.
Take anybody.
Oh my lord, how come I can't think of anyone right now? That's an easy one too. Oh my god. Oh
You
my
about to
gosh,
hit that.
big one.
Well, you already went past the mark, so
Oh, no.
just what you think about.
Was that the last question?
That was the last one, 15.
No.
That's the
Darn,
one. That's
not
one of the
that hard.
questions people get stuck on.
Really?
Some people do. Some people. I've had 3 people say the same person. Saying what? It was a tie between what's the name? Idris Alba and LL Cool J. Yeah, so everybody says that right there. It is what it is.
Uh-huh.
Before you get to your last word, what is that 4 screens I can get? Where do I get that?
Yeah, it's pick, play, post.
Pick, play, post. Pick, play, post.
Uh-huh.
Pick, play, post. All right, I'm on it. Laura, if you got the final message, I want you to give a final message to people out there. Maybe someone who is also amputee right now, whatever. Maybe they're having it just happened to them. They're struggling with it, or they're going through something right now. Give a message to them, and for also people out there to not also judge it as well. Give that final message.
Mm-hmm. Give yourself grace to love everything about yourself and learn to adapt to this new life that you're in. And the sky is the limit. Go for all of your dreams and do whatever it takes to try new endeavors and reach new goals and never give up. And for others, don't judge everybody by what you see in them physically, because there's a lot more to us, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Yeah, that would be my message, not to judge others.
Hit everybody. Don't judge. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
that asshole. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Laura, for coming on today. I appreciate your time and your great story. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you. This was an honor to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week on Let's Talk About It.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the show. Please subscribe, click on the bio, support the show. Thank you so much again. We'll see you next week for another amazing episode on Let's Talk About It.